welcome everyone to this a new episode of Business and Technology. I am your host Joel. My this show, sorry, this show is really about your business and how technology can help you. And also we're going to look at other things, for example, how technology influences what you do, your business decision on a daily basis. One of the things that we're going to talk about tonight, and I thought it was important because I was following some of the business owners, and I also had a couple of meetings where I attended a couple of meetings where I thought this topic was relevant. It made kind of sense to discuss about this. So, what are we going to talk about is how to rebound in your business after the lockdown. Because, like it or not, but it's coming where a lot of places are opening up and a lot of regulations around the pandemic has been kind of lessened the burden and how to do it. And most places now require only to have a vaccination or a test. So which allows certain people, certain businesses to reopen their doors for customers to come in and interact with the owners and sometimes allow you as a business to go and perform your duties in other businesses locations. And for this, I kind of prepared something, and I think we can probably share this slideshow, this presentation, and I just entitled it "How to Rebound After Lockdown." And before I go, I see a couple of comments already. Yes, Della MTV, she's one of our sponsors for this meeting and for this month of November, along with other members. I'm just going to see if I can share with you who are the other members of the tribe. Okay, let's see. All right. So at the bottom here, you have all the other partners of this channel, those organizations supporting us for this month of November again. And you have Rezo Bisobasi, Dalia MTV, Dalia Show, Mountain of Inspiration, Ada Music, DLM Design, Shadowware, and of course our own Amen Productions Canada. All right. So just to have enough space to present what I'm talking about, I'm going to minimize the screen for our guest. What people have been saying and what researchers have researched around the world have demonstrated is business is really about the people, the customers. It's also require you to have technologies, applications that go along with your business, which help you to do what you promise to deliver in terms of services, in terms of product. Let's say you're in a cleaning business, so you need to have the right tools, like we explained last time. You need to have the right tools for you to perform your business, your service, which is the cleaning, like cooking, for example, or it could be video productions. You need to have a camera. Those are the technologies that you need to perform your duties. And also, we know that some other research around the business in this time also spoke about the trend. Okay, beside the technologies, beside the apps, beside the social network, you also have some trends. They observe that certain trends in the area of the businesses people are conducting the business. And finally, the core of all is your business. What is it doing? How can it rebound? What are you doing to maintain, to be in that position where this show will probably help you? You may think that it must be a business that generates money, but I'll talk also about, I may include as well all the organizations where they provide a service to people. So without any further ado, let's go to the first portion, the customers. You and I are customers in a way. We are also producers. We also service providers. We also product maker. We deliver. We produce product. We produce various things that can allow people that can buy from us. We provide services. In my case, for example, not only I can produce your show as part of my services, but I can create stuff for you. I can produce posters. I can also manage your social network account. And the way people used to do things, and that's why I put these two pictures in front of you tonight, is on one side, you have the retail store with shelves and product on the shelves. That's how people used to come in stores. That's how people used to buy your product from you. You need to have a physical store where people can come and pick and choose what they want or what they may need. Okay, because you probably have something on special that week or that month, and people will come and decide which product they can buy based on their budget, because it usually happens when they look at, can I afford it? Do I have enough to cover? Yes. And when they have enough disposable income, that's where they sometimes go beyond what they came for in your store, in your shop. And that's why we have the shelves and different product. And let me say something here. Because of the way people used to come in the stores, sometimes they bought things they did not really need at a time. But they thought at a time that I may need it tomorrow, I may need it 2 or 3 days. And that's how sometimes you go to some places, to some houses, you go in the fridge, they have stuff that they don't use, and it's been sitting there for a week or two because somebody was thinking that I may need it tomorrow, or I may cook it, I may do something with it. And that was the beauty of the retail store. And except of course for the food, where most of the time we buy what we're going to eat. But when you look at other stuff, clothing, for example, people buy clothes because they think they may need it, they think they like it, and they may wear it one day. That's how sometimes people end up with a lot of clothes in the house. All right. And then beside it, you have, I would say, the new way of shopping. People make lists and they go online and they start checking what they want, what they really want. And that also allow them to do some research before they make any purchase, before they make any decision to purchase anything. And it has influenced how people are consuming our services and products. And it brings down to a couple of things that I've been telling people in this channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, if you don't have a social media account where you can do lives, you can showcase your product and services, you are probably missing a good portion of the customers. And the question is always why? Because right now, people are going after the brand that can inspire them, that is informative about the product they're selling, and also a brand that can demonstrate how the product and services is done. So if you are, let's say, I love one of the shows that I used to watch, those people are based in the States. They are shoemaker, shoe repair company, the two brothers. They learned that from the father and the grandfather. Just by looking at the way, the craft, the way they do their things, it makes you feel comfortable if you're living in the same state or you're living in the United States of America to send your shoes to them, because you know what passion they have to repair the shoes. You know the passion they have with the product, the way they handle themselves, the way they handle product, the way they handle your shoes, the way they take care of the shoes. It makes you feel comfortable enough to ship it to them and wait for a week or two for you to get your shoes back. And it applies to the same to all different type of businesses. We have all different type of businesses right now. They are probably I'll say it. They are probably missing a good portion of customers because they are not visible to the masses. Yet they go in there complaining, and they hope that people will follow them because they have a social media profile. My friend, let me tell you, having a social media profile is not enough. It is not enough today. It's not enough for you to be in a group, in a WhatsApp group. It's not enough. It's not enough for you to publish content every single week. It's no longer enough. There are more that you can do, and we're going to talk about it. So we coming from a place where it was easy, simple. You put your product on the shelves, or people, big manufacturer, they come to you and say, you have a store, let's put our stuff in your store, in your shelf. Fine. But now we are living in a time where most people can no longer go to the stores. Now it's coming, it's okay, but we still don't know how long it's going to last. Certain stores are going to close again because different places are still having issues. And right now, with this passport that is being required by most governments, it will be harder and tougher for other people to get certain places. So people are now shopping online. They're going online. And this may affect your business. If it has not affected your business, I will say negatively, because some other businesses have been positively affected. Why? I'm saying those people who embraced the YouTube life. I can tell you those people are experiencing a change in the way that they interact with the customers. They are experiencing a new set of customers coming to them all the time. Why? Because I'll tell you, I've been seeing it since I started doing my live shows last year up to now. I can tell the number, how my subscribers are increasing on a weekly basis. Why? Because I'm building myself. I'm building enough content for people sometimes to use that to refer to the material and do whatever they need to do. This is how we are. This is a time we're living in. A time where people have time to research. And I'll tell you another thing. I was to print something on my printer, a printer that I had for now 4 years. Things were working fine, and I get cartridges from the manufacturer. Now I have a subscription. They send it to me, and I just, whenever it's about to be empty, they'll send me a replacement cartridge so I can ship the old one back and install the new one whenever I need it. And yesterday, for some reason, it will not print properly. It will give me an error message, and until I figure out a way to do it. But in the meantime, I look at it, I say, maybe it's time for me to replace that old one. And guess what? I start doing researches. I start going to different places, comparing different printers, what they have to offer, and how much it will cost if they have a subscription plan, for example, for ink, for cartridge. All those things have come into play. Whereby in the past, I would probably go to the store, one of those office supply stores, and look at what they have and try and decide. But now, it's really different. All right? So, excuse me, I just got an interruption where I was trying to talk about one thing here. The challenge with this is your customers now have different needs. They have different wants. They're looking for different things in whatever they have. And I was doing some research, and I came across this. The first circle on the left, it shows you that 66% of the people interviewed in Canada, out of 40,000 people, They say that they will be eating and drinking healthier after the COVID. After the COVID, they decide they're going to do it differently. Why? Because of the option that they have. They looked at themselves, they look at the challenges, the risk that they're going through. They realize that they need to improve, they need to change the way they're doing it. Why? They're thinking about having a better health for themselves, for their family. So 66% of Canadians surveyed, they say that they will eat and drink better. On the other side, you have what we call the clean label. The clean label, it means organization that make sure that they produce their product with less impact on the environment. And right there we have 68% of people, they say they want less additives in their product. And that 68% of Canadians surveyed again, they say they want cleaner product. Cleaner product coming from cleaner companies. And they're looking at all different ways. They're looking at how it's packaged, how it's done, what they are doing for their customers. But the most important statistics that I'd like to share with you, it is that 91% of Americans are still worried about the online life. They're still worrying about cyber threat. 91%. So that tells you, as a business, the area that you can focus, the area that you need to showcase sometimes, you need to showcase them things that works for them. You need to showcase them they are safe going to your website. They are safe ordering product from you. They are safe. They don't have to worry about their credit card information. They don't have to worry about their bank card information if they're going to pay with the bank card, because now most bank card, they also have Visa debit. So all these things come into play. But when you look at the number, in 91% of those surveyed, they say they're worried. And there is another stat where they're saying a certain percentage and also higher, they was thinking that will be the next target next year. Those are things, those are the perception that people have. So there are a lot of areas that you can look at. You can look at the statistics and determine and see what my customers are thinking. And why is it important? Because nowadays, as you know, we need a certain technology. We need to have certain tools for health, for manufacturers, for farmers producing food, for the builders, all these engineers. We need to have some type of technology to produce the product and services that we are to offer to those people, to those customers. As a consumer, I'm looking at all these things. Is it healthy? All right? Is it safe? And for example, today I was reading a message in one of the groups that I'm a part of on WhatsApp, and somebody sent a link, and I questioned the link because I wasn't sure. And my question is like, why is it this company sending a link for $25 Amazon vouchers, but it's coming from a different company, not Amazon, not that company, but a different company. And of course, being in IT, what I did, I took the URL of that company and searched. And unfortunately, Google showing, oh, that company decided not to share the information. Right. For me, it was a red flag. But the person who shared that with me had to go and show me that it wasn't. And then, of course, I did my research. I went back to the regional provider to see from the website if they had such promotion. Yes, it was there. But just to tell you, cyber criminals, they also using that. They're using that strategy to drag people into some tools, some places where they can inadvertently expose themselves by providing personal identifiers to those cyber criminals. They've been pushed. They've been how you call it? They've been lured into those offers where they can buy. Oh, you can get this, and they're putting that as a as a trap for new customers to go and provide information. It's like those calls that we sometimes get. Oh, this call is from IRS, and or this call is coming from Canada, Revenue Canada, and so forth. And if you don't pay, and those are scammers. And if you don't know how they operate, you may give yourself in. You may open up yourself and expose yourself to a lot of trouble. So those are the danger. But that technology is needed. Why? Because as I showed you in the previous slide, consumers now are no longer going in places. As a matter of fact, most doctors in Ontario, and I believe other provinces in Canada, most doctors now are providing online visit. Instead of in-person visit, they're offering online visit for those who prefer that. So with that, you still need a technology. You still need to have the way to communicate with your customers. You need to have a way that you can not only perform, but also perform if it's a service, but also learn different ways how you can do it to still provide a service to your customers. And that is a challenge. That is one of the challenges that some other people that have closed today, and because they've been closed for a certain period of time, they're not aware. They're not sure how they can do it. They don't know how they can make it happen. And they're afraid that once they launch into that route, and when they reopen, they don't know if they'll be able to rebound. And that's why we're having this conversation tonight. It's how are you going to rebound? But let me check some of the messages that we have here. Yes. I see Charlene Orkaya J. Yes. Thank you for stopping by. Yes, they're having conversation. Good. So the main challenges are using that technology that can be a threat, but also it can pose other problems. But how do you use that to make sure that you can rebound? Those are some of what we're going to cover tonight. You see, we're still talking about technology. You know, we move from customers, looking at your customers, how your customers used to buy product and services, and how you still need technology to produce some of those product and services. But the trend is also coming into a place where most other people now rely on the apps. They rely on what they have on the apps. The apps on the phone or apps on the computer, because some of them are mobile and they can be desktop version as well. So they rely on it to buy, to consume the services, to consume the product. And as a matter of fact, those companies who are smart enough, they kind of launch into that digital transformation. They can also, if you haven't done so, you can go through my library of videos and say, start thinking about having your service as a software. Whatever you do as a service, make it to become an app. Make it to become available to your customers without leaving the homes, without leaving the comfort of the space, without exposing themselves to other people, because we know what happens with the vaccine. Yes, people can be vaccinated, but that's another topic. We're not going to go there. But just to let you know that people are still worried and they're still concerned about their health. And sometimes the application that you can create, that you can have available for your customers, can really help them. Can really help them staying in the comfort of their homes, yet accessing your service and product. So some product, yes, can be used online. I just think a couple of years ago, we used to have the Adobe product line on a DVD. We'll install on a computer, run it, install it, and everything, bang, you're good to go. But for the last 3 or 4 years now, they stopped doing that. Adobe has started a subscription model. Software that used to cost for the whole package, it used to be like, when was that? I'm looking at Adobe 6. That was the last one before they went to the cloud, before it becomes CC. It was to get a full package of Adobe software. It was around close to 3,000 Canadian dollars. And with the cloud adoption, what Adobe has done, you can access some of the software and you can choose. You can decide, for example, for this month, I'm going to use this, and for December, I don't need this and I can stop, but I keep this. And your cost can vary like that. So apps are becoming more and more used in the world that we're living now. And that was before even we have the lockdown. But now with the lockdown, a lot of people can only rely on apps because first, it's easy to access. Look at it. We're not going to talk about the benefit. The benefit of having your service as a software. We had another video. We had another show where we talk about it. So if you haven't watched it, I'll say go back and watch it. But for those who are still thinking, how can I make it? I say you have technology in your hand. Because to produce whatever you do, you need to have some form of technology. And technology is not just computer. It could be a knife. It could be a part. Those are part of technology. It's something that was built by somebody else to help you perform your duties, to produce, to deliver services or product. And you can do, and that technology can lead you to create also apps for your company. But the most important thing that I would like you to remember is, although it may seem difficult, although it may seem that insurmountable, you cannot go beyond it. You cannot go past that issue, that challenge of the lockdown. The trends are showing us that more and more people who have understood the market, who have understood the times that we're living in, are succeeding in whatever they're doing. Those are part of the trends. And it's part of the human nature. Human nature tends to find a way to problems. They see an obstacle, they will either jump over or they'll go around the obstacle. That's how human nature functions. And those who are smart enough, they made either one of those decisions, and they're still moving ahead. They're still moving forward, not being stopped by the current situation. Yes, there are challenges, but they see and they find how they can make it happen. Why? Because they're still making money. Why? Because people are still in the business of consuming food. People are still in the business of printing. People are still in the business of consulting. People are still in the business of acquiring things, and they need somebody to deliver that. They need a way that they can consume what they need. So for that, those who understood it, they're still going up and up. Yes, there'll be time where you can go down, but the trends are not going downward, but they're going upward. That's the key. That's the key in this time we're living in. Understanding that regardless of the challenge, regardless of where you are as a business, It's probably just a matter that there are a couple of things that you need to watch. There are a couple of things that you need to consider because the trends are there. People, in the beginning of the lockdown last year, people saying, oh, the real estate market will go down. Guess what? Go ask any realtor. They'll tell you it didn't slow. Yes, it was kind of, yes, but as the trend shows, it may go up and down and then up. The trend is still going upward. That's how the business is. That's how, because human nature is still the same. What happened is during that time, certain people decide to sell their homes. They decide to downgrade. And that's its movement. And because it's a movement, it's money. And money for the realtors, money for the government, it's still money. Money for the bank. Because as you know, every time you buy a house, the bank is happy. Your bank officer or loan officer is happy because they get a percentage of that. So money is still circulating in the economy. You still have people benefiting for whatever circumstance. Yes, it's not the same, but money is still being made. It's all about going upward and not going downward. And that's why, and this is probably a personal advice, expecting to go back to the old way of doing things, it is maybe, I'll say, I'm trying to be nice. It's maybe you're probably dreaming. I'm telling you. Because human nature tends to evolve, to go in a way that as they see things around them, as they see challenges around them, we humans, we try to find new ways of doing things. We are trying to change, and people never like to wear masks. Now, without a mask, you feel yourself awkward, and that's how human nature evolved. So, expecting people to embrace the old way of doing things right away, not every sector, not every business area. Some of them, yes, they will do that. They'll go back as soon as possible, as soon as they can. They'll go back to the old way of doing things. But as I showed you earlier, look at how your customers are spending the money. Look at how your customers are consuming your services, your product. In the past, we used to have some applications. What was the name? Quark Express, for example. They did not understand quickly enough how customers are consuming product. And today, many people don't remember them. Except people we used to create posters back in 2000, in the 90s or the 2000. Yes, we still remember Quark Express. We still remember how we loved it, how it was helping us produce gradients and do things. But how many people know them? How many people remember this place where we used to rent movies? It used to be VHS, and then it became DVDs, and then it became the Blu-ray, and before you know it, they closed. My youngest daughter probably don't remember that. Why? Because it's the way things are moving. Yes, in the music, for example, the vinyl, people used to buy vinyls, music and vinyls, and they used to play it because it had a certain sound. It sounded differently. For the last 20 years, people thought it was done. But purists, people who love music in a certain way, they still going after vinyls to listen to the music they love. So consider, looking at the number of people that moved with you from whenever you were born, whenever you started your business, 2001 for myself, to now, you may see that probably a great portion of them will never go back to the old way of doing things. Just an example. In 2001, until recently, I used to shoot videos on mini DV tapes, because when I started, it was the transition from the i8 to the mini DV tape, better quality and all that. But when high definition came into the market, you could tell that it was really difficult to maintain, to squeeze all that information on a mini DV tape. And looking at how we shoot videos now, today, you only shoot that on an SD card, and sometimes in micro SD. If you're not shooting on your phone, you're probably shooting that on a SD card. I probably have a box full of mini DV tapes. When I say box, it weighs probably 5 or 6 kilograms, heavy. And if I look at all these tapes, and I look at the numbers of SD card that I can have to replace that, my SD card will fit into my hand to replace all that. To give you an idea, on my phone here, I have about 300 CDs that I used to have. I used to play. I used to have a CD changer. And I one day decided to put everything, to digitalize them and put them on my phone. Right here, I have 300 CDs that I'm carrying with me. So if you come and tell me, oh, what about having those CDs? I'll say, where am I going to put them? My wife would not even allow me to have shelves of CDs somewhere in the house. As a matter of fact, she promised them to one of our friends. And he said, whenever you come, he'll get them. So just imagine how many people will be going back. Except, of course, you are a pure fan, like my young brother, my young son. They call me Uncle, but he still listen to that. But most people don't. They prefer to have the music on the go, on the phone, or on an iPod or something like that. They can easily carry it anywhere they go. And those are the trends that we're living in. The trends are such that to take people downward in the old way of doing things, you will lose, I'll say, probably 80% of your customers. 80% of them will not want to go back. Why? Because it's how life it is. When human nature discover and find something that can help them and that can make things easier, or it can be trendier, they will embrace it. They will embrace it. Oh, like it or not, they will embrace it. They will go for what makes their life, it make them trendier, it makes their life easier. Why? Because it's human nature. So trends play a huge part on how you're going to make it for your business. It plays a huge part in how you can start now thinking about your business. You can now start thinking about what to do next. What am I going to do? And that's probably where we're going to spend a little bit time here, understanding what are the next steps that you need to do as of today, after lockdown, after talking about all these things, the customers, technologies, what they're doing, what they're using, and what you can use. Talking about the trends, knowing that now customers are going after things that will probably do not cost them a lot of money. Right? Think about it. Why would I have to pay $300 or $3,000 to get software when I can pay for subscription on a monthly basis for $60? Why? Knowing that $3,000 that I have to pay up front to get a software, it's almost impossible. And that's the reason why people are we're going onto those websites where they'll pirate software. Why? Because they could not afford it, and they just, okay, let me find those pirate website and download the software, the most recent software, and install it and use it, whatever. So that's one of the trends that we need to observe. And with that, I would like to invite all the business owners to start rethinking their vision. And that is the first place that you need to go. What was your vision when you started the business? Think about it. Think about the vision. What was the passion? What was the drive for you to start the business when you started it 20 years ago? What was the main goal of your business? Most people will tell you it wasn't really to make money. It was to answer, to respond to a problem they saw somewhere in the community. And looking at a vision, I'll ask you simply, think about it. Has the problem or new problem gone away? They may seem like a new problem, but it's still a problem to the community that you care about. Okay? So the same people, because they have evolved, and that's why we were talking about customers, because they've evolved, they have grown up, they have different needs, they have different problems. But those are the same people that you targeted, I targeted 20 years ago. I said, those are the people I will go after. Those people, now they no longer worry too much about having concert, because guess what? They can have a live concert on YouTube or on some channel, on some website where they just have to pay and watch a wonderful show for 1 week or 2 weeks. Look at all these things. What was your vision when you started 20 years ago or 10 years ago or 5 years ago? What was your vision? You probably had the vision, but the core of the vision was to be an answer to some people, to a community, to a group of people, maybe to the world, like Bill Gates. Maybe your vision was to answer the problem of the world in terms of technology. Maybe that's your call. If that's your vision, think about it. Have people resolved all the problems? I don't think so, because the stats that I showed you were clear enough to tell us that 91% of Americans, they still worry about cyber crime. They're still worrying they still have a concern about cyber criminality. So that tells you that if your market is the Americans, you have an idea what they're trying to do. And if your market is Canada, and you know, for example, people are more concerned about health, you have a market that you can attend, you can provide, you can answer the problem. So what was the vision? And that is key, because you need to think about a vision. And that's why I put this icon of that man going upward with a scope, trying to see how far he can see. You need to keep yourself in a position where, using technology today, understanding your experience of the past, how can you go further? That is the key. How can you go further? How can you improve what you were offering before the lockdown? How can you make it better? How can you diversify? How can you enter new markets, NFTs or cryptocurrency? How can you enter those new places that were unthinkable a couple of years ago? So this is where your vision, the core of the vision, still remain the same, but I'll call you to think. What are the other problems people are seeing around it? Around the same issues that they had 20 years ago. What are the new problems they still experiencing? You have a market there. You have a need there from the people, a need that has evolved. The only thing that probably is not much evolved is the food. But even the food, look at how now we can be in the comfort of our own homes and go on an app on the phone and order food and being delivered to our doors. That's how food is made. And you can have a choice, and you can, that either some services would allow you with a fee, they can send you fresh ingredients so that you can start cooking your food yourself at home, fresh, with the recipe and all that. So even the food industry, where the need, it's a basic need, people are still hungry every day, unless you're fasting or you're some kind of different people, but you have that need on a daily basis. And those people who provide food, they understand it. They start providing different ways. They start giving people options on how they can consume the food. That's how you need to think about your vision. That's how you need to look, where are we going? Where are my customers going? What are the trends? And answer that problem. With that comes what? What is your mindset? Today, how are you thinking about the world? How are you thinking about customers? If you're still treating customers as the people that used to come in your shop and be amazed by the number of colors that they see on different shelves, or they see a blue of this, a yellow of that, a red of that, and all these marketing colors that can attract them to spend money, now they no longer have it. Not only they no longer have that, some places, but they're afraid to come out. And certain places, they cannot even enter your store because they don't have the proof that they're safe. So if you don't see that, if you don't change your mindset, if you don't change the way you perceive it, if you stuck to the old way of doing things, you may be in trouble. And what I'm recommending is really, like I learned this week, is having the mindset of a scientist. A scientist always question, always see the possibilities. It's not stubborn as some of the business leaders. They say, we predict 60% growth this quarter, it will happen. No. A scientist will say, I predict 60% growth, but in case it doesn't happen, this is my remedy. This is what I'm going to do to fix this. And this is what I'm going. And that's a mindset of the scientist. Is open to everything, but is not afraid to try. To say what? Your mindset today is and it should be of the person who thinks like a scientist, who's not afraid to try new things, who's not afraid to try new ways. Because if you close yourself off to this new ways of doing things, my friends, I'm telling you, you will be in big trouble. You will be in big trouble. And that is why, I'm talking to myself right now. You need to change your mindset. You need to that's why even on the thumbnail of this video, I put the things, because rebuild yourself. You need to rethink of yourself. Yesterday that worked, yesterday that didn't work. What can I do to make it better today? Having a proper vision from the beginning. I want to be the next this, or I love it, because some people, like, sorry to put you on the spot, Charlene, but she kind of remind me that I need to have a vision for 2022. I cannot just come every day and do the thing the same way and expect to get some result. No, I need to have a vision. I need to have a plan. I need to think and again be willing to change, to adjust, to adapt. Because you can have a vision, but if your vision, you're still thinking with a vision like, the old school, I'm sorry, but you will not go far. And the third thing comes in right there, because you need to learn from your past. You need to learn from others. We have abundant information, wealth of information, of details, People are putting information all the time. Some are, you need to pay, some are free, available. It's just for you to be on the right spot at the right time to get the right message. So that's where people are still missing. People are missing that, and they're not learning. And sometimes, yes, you have to pay. Don't be afraid to pay and learn. Why? Because you educate yourself to do what? To be a better person, to be a better producer, to have a better knowledge in terms of equipment, to understand better that, this mixer can do this, or this microphone can do that, this light can do. You need to educate yourself, and whenever you can change that, and that's where the adaptability comes into play. You need to adapt yourself. You need to change your mind. You are thinking dots. You need to start thinking lines, connecting lines. Where am I going? What am I doing? Those are the new things. And why you can do it, it's because you have the right mindset. The mindset to say to yourself that I can no longer continue doing things the same old way I used to do them. Sorry. You continue doing the things the same way, old way, and you expect a different result. They call it insanity, I think, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, insanity. You need to be able to sit, sometimes do an evaluation on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, and say, where am I going? Am I doing the right things to achieve my goals? Have I done the right thing this month of October to achieve my goals? Have I done the right thing in the month of November to achieve my goals? If not, what? So 2021 is almost at the end. We're in the month of November, 11th month. Have I done all the things that I put myself, I set myself to do from the beginning of the year, back in January? If not, what? What have I done wrong? So that's where you learn. You start learning, you start questioning yourself. And to question yourself, you need to sometimes have the right people, the right set of mind around you, making sure that you have people that who can tell you the hard truth. Not people just come and say, oh, you're doing great, you're great, you we like it, oh, it's nice. No. I want people sometimes to come to me and say, you did your show, but you could have done this, you could have done that. Why I appreciate those people? Because they help me get better. They help me get closer to my target. They help me get closer to my goals. If I disregard those people because I think I'm smart, because I think I'm handsome and all that, fine. But guess what? I'll be stuck in the old ways of doing things. So I need to learn. Also, you can get that with the right set of people. People that come and say, no, that's not the way you do it. People who can look at your business and say, listen, you don't have money, but this is what you can do to get the money that you're looking for and pay me for the service that I can deliver to you. Those are mechanisms sometimes we are not aware of, but somebody else can see that from outside, that we can achieve it by doing a certain adjustment. And that's why I say we need to adapt. We need to look at the dots, those dots that were not linked, and start putting lines between some other dots, making them connect and understand that, okay, if I do this, this is the effect that I can get. And with this effect, it will get me closer to my goals or far from my goals. So getting all that and adapting myself and say, am I doing the right things? And that's where you have to learn. I need to make sure that I'm learning something on a daily basis. What have I learned today? What have I learned yesterday? What have I learned the last month? All these things put together with the right mindset, we adjust with the adjustment that required for you to perform. I'm telling you, you'll be able to succeed. You'll be able to look at those trends. You'll be able to look at those statistics. You'll be able to look at everything that you have done and sit back a little bit. Sit back a little bit because you know that you set yourself right. And the mindset, it's really thinking like a scientist, it's really the way it's going to help you for future endeavors, and understanding that you don't stay in the status quo. You don't lock yourself in a certain position. That's the way I used to do it. No. Yes, I did it in 20 years ago. I did it 10 years ago. But where are my customers going? What are the trends? What are the concerns that people have? So what can I do to get them while still achieving my global goal? Because at the end of the day, you either want to leave a legacy to your children, you either want to leave a fortune to your children, but either want to leave a name for yourself, you either want to do something, but are you doing the right thing? Are you looking at the right technologies? Are you looking at the right place to do that? And that's why I think if this video helped you, I say share it with other people. Share it with other people. Talk to other people. Call me. My number is right there at the bottom of the screen. Call me. If you think that I missed a couple of things, tell me. I told you, I prefer honest people around me to tell me the truth than people trying to be nice to me. Tell me what I missed. Tell me what I could have expanded. Tell me, give me your feedback. That's how we can grow. That's how, as a scientist, I look at myself. Yes, I can grow. I can make things better. There is a story that we used to share when we were younger. It was a story of this guy. It's an African story of two people. They're trying to build boats. One of them decided to build a boat on a main road where people will pass and see what he's doing. And the other one decided to build it in a hidden place, hidden area where people would not see it. The one who decided to build a boat in a public place, in a main road, used to get a lot of remarks. People would stop by and say, oh, you should have done this. You could have done this. Every day was getting remarked to the point that at the end, on the day that decided to compare the two boats, the one who built his boat, who made his boat on the main road, had a boat that could float on the water. And the one who was in hidden place, the boat sunk right away. They put it in the water, it went down. And this is to say what? There is another, this is not a story actually. It's a real fact. And that's something I learned this week. There was a group of people, a group of business in Portugal. They split them in two groups. One group with people who think, with leaders and people who think like scientists to help them. And other people who just think, status quo. Let's do it the way we know how to do it. After 12 months, those entrepreneurs who were with the scientist-minded people, they realized 12 million euros of sales. The other ones, they only realized 400,000. Look at the difference. And they asked them, what have you learned? Those were the scientist people say they had to think every day. They had to think on a regular basis, looking at all the different options. And the one with the whole way of doing things, they stuck to what they know. They were not able to innovate. And here I salute some of the forefathers of IT, the founders of HP. They say, if you're not innovating, you are not making progress. You're going backward. So think about it. Are you going to rebound after the lockdown? Depend on your mindset. Depend on how you look at all these things that we share tonight. And if you really like what we share, again, I'll ask you, please share it with the people that you know. And don't hesitate to buy us a coffee. Don't hesitate to support us in any fashion or any ways that you can, so that we can bring more information, we can bring more relevant topics for you as a business, for you as an entrepreneur, for you as a leader. On this, I really thank you for the time that you took. Let me just go back. And we would have not made it without our sponsor, our friends who came to watch. I know some of the people are watching from somewhere else. Charlene, Rokaya J, and Dalia MTV. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, she's saying, thanks for this free shop. Yeah, you know, we putting this for the people around us and for you who follow us, and we're doing those research, and we hope that by doing this, we all grow together. We get better, and that's why I need your feedback. And you tell me what I've missed. I mean, watch this and with honest eyes and say, you could have done better in this area or that area. That will really help me, and I will really appreciate it. All right? So I thank you very much for your time and for staying with me for an hour, sticking with me for an hour. And I really hope that you learned something. And I'll see some of you next week and some of you tomorrow. I'll try my best to be on Clubhouse and talk about other things. It'll be in French, but tonight, Thursday, it's the time where we spend most of the time speaking in English and sharing our knowledge in English. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye-bye.